Hello students, welcome to our maths class. In definite integration, integral f of x dx equal to capital F of x plus c. Then integral a to b f of x dx equal to f of b minus f of a. That is indefinite integration. This is indefinite integration. In indefinite integration we have constant, but definite integration we will be getting a fixed value. That is why there is no constant here. Okay. So a is called lower limit and b is called upper limit. Here definite integration is independent of variable. That means you can have any variable, but it depends on only limits of integration. F of z dz or integral a to b f of s ds. It does not depend on variable. Whatever variable it is, this is dt, f of t dt. So that is very important. Next one, in indefinite integration, if you change the limits, then immediately sign will be changing. Remember that point. Okay. Third one, integral a to b f of x dx. Then we can split the integration like this: a to c f of x dx plus c to b f of x dx, where a less than c less than b. Between a and b we can take one value c, that is. So okay, that is the property. Remember that. Similarly, one more important property, integral 0 to a f of x dx equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. For this, we can take a minus x equal to t, then minus dx equal to dt, dx equal to minus dt. In definite integration, if you take substitution, we have to change the limits also. Limits are from 0 to a, that is x0. If x0 means t will be a. If x is a means t will be 0. So now integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx equal to, this one I am taking, RHS side I am taking. What are the limits here? A to 0, f of, this is my assumption, t, dx means I have dt. So minus integral a to 0, f of t dt. I am removing this minus symbol. Then immediately what should you do? As per the second property, I can change the limits here. 0 to a, f of t dt. As I told you, definite integration is independent of variable. So 0 to a, I can write f of x dx. That is LHS. So therefore, integral 0 to a f of x dx equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Don't forget this. Okay. If you look at one example, integral 0 to pi by 2 square root of sin x by square root of sin x plus square root of cos x dx. Suppose if you want to find this value, let it be I, equation 1. Now if I use this property here, what are you going to get? F of a minus x. So sin of, in the place of x, what should you write? Pi by 2 minus x. Do you follow? Integral 0 to a f of, in the place of x we are writing a minus x, right? Here in the place of x we should write pi by 2 minus x. So I equal to integral 0 to pi by 2 square root of sin 90 minus x means what? Cos x, by this also will be cos x, this will be sin x dx. Add 1 and 2. Now 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 means what will you get? 2i equal to integral 0 to pi by 2. Numerator and denominator will be same. So 1 dx you will get. So 2i equal to 1 integration is x. Limits are what? Pi by 2. What should you do? Upper limit minus lower limit we should write. Pi by 2 minus 0 pi by 2. So I equal to pi by 4. What is my I? Integral 0 to pi by 2 root sin x by root sin x plus root cos x dx equal to pi by 4. So by using this property, this is very important property for doing the problems. Integral 0 to a f of x dx equal to integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Okay, hope it is clear. We will go to the next property. Thank you.